Hey everybody, Mo Bunnell here, your host at Real Relationships, Real Revenue. Fifth and final episode with Marty Fagan. Marty is SVP of Sales and Business Development for TransUnion. I found this series of 5 episodes fantastic. And if you drop it into this one, make sure that you go back and listen to the 4 prior because they were gold. They were really, really good, hard-hitting, fast-paced, short, lots of great insights. In this particular episode, we dig into if Marty could record a video and send it back to his prior self with some advice, what would be in that video? Pretty cool question. Here's Marty's answer. Hey everybody, Mo Bunnell here, your host at Real Relationships, Real Revenue. I'm with Marty Fagan. Marty's one of the best strategic business developers I've ever met. He's SVP of Sales and Business Development at TransUnion. Marty, in this 5th and final episode, if you could record a video, something around growth, business development kind of things, if you could record a video and send it back to your younger self, what would you say?
I say 2 things. That's a good question. First thing is be authentic. I believe that if you truly are authentic, people can pick up on that. And if you're not authentic, they can pick up on that as well.
Yeah.
I think, and I'll define authentic in this manner. When I talk to clients, and if I don't believe that I have a solution that is solving a specific need or a specific problem for them, don't sell it to them. And
yeah.
You need to really feel in your heart of heart and being authentic in a way that in selling the solution or not selling it, it's going to impact that customer. I think back in the early part of their career, I would just try to do anything and everything to close a sale. That may work well in the short term, but it's not going to work well over in the long term. And it's something that I've learned through, good episodes and bad episodes. The second thing that I would advise myself 20 years ago is have the passion, of what you're trying to sell to your customer. And what do I mean by that? I got into the data business in 1999. So I've been in this, over 20 years. And in all the career that I've had over the journey of, 40 years, it's the one that I love the most. I love dealing with, data solutions. And, and by having that passion, I think that people pick up on it. And again, I go back to the authenticity about it. I have a passion to use the type of solutions that we have to solve customer problems. And I believe that. And I also have, the confidence that if there's something that I can't solve a need or a problem, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So again, if I had to tell myself years ago, be authentic, be passionate about what you're doing. That is, I think, the key, the underlying foundational key to successful business development.
Yeah, Marty, I think those are both so spot on. The authenticity is important because it's so powerful to be able to say we're not a fit, or this one particular product or solution or offering isn't a fit, but this one is. Like, that's what we want to hear as buyers is what works and what doesn't, not just whatever the most expensive thing that you got to offer is. And then the passion, I totally agree. When we're buying something, we want to be put up on a pedestal. We want the person to really feel confidence that they're going to be able to be helpful for us. And what's neat about what I've seen you do is TransUnion's offerings are really complicated. I think most people in the normal business world don't understand how complicated and how insightful and how technically difficult they are, and about how many there are and how they have to be put together in a way that's valuable for the customer. I mean, you're like a consultant with incredibly powerful tools to be able to be deployed in a very bespoke way. client by client, customer by customer. So when you think about authenticity and passion, let me flip it. How do you think it, if you were advising people on your team or externally, how do you think it feels from the buyer when somebody's authentic and they're passionate?
Well, first of all, I think when you're authentic and you're passionate, the buyer picks up on that, and it allows you to establish a level of trust.
Yeah.
And for our business, it's absolutely critical to have that level of trust because what we're selling, it's information and, and insights derived from that information.
Yeah.
It solves a very specific problem for your customer. It's not something that you can put your hands around like a cell phone. It's selling it's selling an intangible piece of an intangible solution that resolves a specific need or problem. So there needs to be that level of trust in place to be able to be successful with that conversation that you're having with the buyer.
Yeah. And if I can, I'll ask you a follow-up question here. If there's one stumbling block I see around these two things, authenticity and passion, it's both people can have trouble with, but especially the passion one, because they can sort of feel like, many professionals feel like, well, I don't like to sell. I'm putting air quotes around that, audio listeners. So I'm naturally going to be subdued around the what I do. And say, no, Lo, you've spent 10, 20, 30 years or whatever developing some deep expertise. Showcase it. Be excited about what you do. Marty, your thoughts around that?
I look at it this way, Mo. I'm not selling something. I am fixing or helping fix a problem that my customer has. So that's a whole different way to look at it. Now, at the end of the day, is there a transaction that ultimately happens? I hope so. But you've got to have the confidence in yourself, the passion, the authenticity to be able to sit there and sit down with a buyer and talk about how you're solving a very specific need.
Marty, that's the end. Like that's the best ending to this episode ever. I didn't want to recap it because it's so good. Everybody, let Marty's words sink in. Marty, people are going to want to reach out to you. They're going to say thank you or connect with you in some ways. What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, have them reach out to me on LinkedIn, Marty Fagan, all one word. I'm on LinkedIn.
Awesome. And we'll put that down in the show notes, everybody. Marty, this has been an absolute blast. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Mo.